Anyway, we're gonna be playing Vampyr. No. So, you have story mode, low challenge, combat's easy, no reward for finishing this. Normal mode, the original mode. Character progression is faster if you kill civilians, and combat difficulty is linked to the number of civilians you kill. Or hard mode, your power is tied to the citizens you choose to embrace. Enemies are harder to kill and hit harder. The experience points rewarded by killing enemies is reduced. Well, too bad, we're gonna play normal. Cause fuck that. Fuck that.
12 dreams for the Red Queen under crown of stone. 8 voracious beasts born from 8 restless nights. 4 nails piercing the flesh of the sinner. 1 prayer for the summoned, called by this song. 'Tis perhaps the countdown to oblivion for the once proud city of London. 'Tis perchance her inhabitants' last dance alone to face death and pestilence. Confronted by the eerie and unknown, mortals became desperate for answers. A flock's flight makes for an omen, the falling of a star a dire presage. Turning to priests for interpretation when there was no reason to be found. When religion failed, men turned to science. I saw them build such vain cities, crafting machines made for endless war. New questions flourished as old answers withered. What is darkness but lurking sun? What is wall but enslaved stone? What is glass but tortured sand? What is song but a call to arms? What is hate but jilted love? What is life but death pending?
But death pending.
Death. Since the apple was plucked from the sacred tree, mortality was believed to be God's punishment. A righteous snare to keep mankind from ascending to the stars. They were all so wrong. Death is not a wicked thing, nor some holy retribution. A true punishment would be to never know its sweet kiss. Awaken from the harshness and be born once more.
That's us.
Mary! Oh, no! Mary! Hold on! Please, hold on! Oh, God. Oh, no. Mary. Mary. No. No. This horror. It's a nightmare. No! Please, a moment, let me explain! These patrols are after me. No! No! Don't shoot!
Alright. Audio, we can probably turn down
It's a nightmare.
a little bit.
I need to get out of here.
Ooh. This plays so much better
This
in
can't be it.
ultra high def.
No, please, stop. I mean you no harm. What's going on? Oh, Mary. What have I done? What's all this about? Shit, where'd it go? Now, I can defend myself. Kill that thing! Who are you? Stay back! Sorry, but you left me no choice.
Sorry, but I just killed you.
Who are you? Stupid beast! Sorry.
We just killed people on a dime, and we're just like, sorry.
No, please, stop! Who are you? Filthy piece of shit!
Probably not the smartest thing to call someone who's slaughtering your people. Filthy piece of shit. Also, I may have played this with a controller the first time because this doesn't feel familiar. The game feels familiar. The way the character is controlling does not. So...
I mean you no harm. I need help. Die, you fucking leech! Please, listen to me. I can't make any sense of this. Shut up, beast! Who are you? What is this all about? What in God's sake? I'll do the rest of the job. Just leave me.
The sun'll do the rest of the job.
The sun feels like it's burning me to the bone. I need to find somewhere to hide. Let me go! I need to find shelter.
Do not cough in public. Prevent disease. Careless spitting, sneezing, coughing spread influenza. Spread by droplets sprayed from the nose and throat. Do not cough in public. Hey, that sounds frighteningly familiar.
Is anybody there?
place seems abandoned. I should be safe enough here.
What's up, Emma? How you do?
I'm sorry. Whoever did this to us, I will find them.
I know that feel, yo. Getting collectibles, yo. I can't imagine. Well, that's a face.
Wait. This one's dressed up fancy. Let's run through his pockets.
Picking the dead's pockets? Are you serious?
I've still a rent to pay. He's got no more responsibilities. What's this? Gold watch.
Beautiful it is. We fancy it and share the takings. I suppose we are undertakers. Now, give him an Eve.
No, give him Neve.
That's impossible.
Yes, I'm sure that's the only impossible thing that happened today. Me? No, of course not. Why would I change my shirt? It's a perfectly good shirt I can wear. Yo. Besides, I can look nice if I want to. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's just a fancy stream today, yo.
Who goes there?
Compared to a t-shirt.
Who's there? Are you referring to me?
No!
Still
No.
fancier than a t-shirt.
I still have so much to accomplish. I still have so much left that needs doing.
Yes, Jonathan. Yes, we do. Well, seeing as this is considered appropriate for my training, and a t-shirt is not, I would say yes. It does make it fancy.
Johnny, this one's lost. We need to leave. And now!
No! There's time. I can save him.
That's the enemy coming! The orders are to evacuate the hospital!
Done. He'll live.
And now what?
We fight. Killing is a hell of a lot easier than healing.
Killing is a hell of a lot easier than healing. Huh.
No, it never got easy.
Nah, I disagree with that. Bloody diary. October 15th, bad sleep, Becky coughed all night and the fever made her delirious. I heard a loud noise in the morning. It's a big machine some men brought by the banks to dig a big hole in the ground. Some sort of mechanical shovel. Maybe we could go there and ask for some work. Becky needs medicine. 16th October, I talked to the men with the mechanical shovel. They told me they are digging mass graves all around London. Safety precautions, apparently. The new epidemic is the flu coming back. They had no work for me. Becky slept a little last night. The foundry has been closed and there are no more jobs nearby. October 19th, I went to London to find some groceries and drugs. No trains. It took me a whole day to cross the Thames and come back. Becky seemed better. I made a soup she ate. I found no drugs, only a few syringes and some sleeping pills on the black market. We have no money left. Maybe we could go to Pembroke Hospital tomorrow, but it's so far. I fear leaving my wife for so long. October 19th, Becky threw up the meal a few hours after she ate. She's so frail now, it makes me cry. She says she hears voices outside at night. She says she wants to eat meat. Where would I find meat? Tomorrow I'll barricade the house to protect us from looters. October 21st, the men with the mechanical shovel have stopped digging the mass grave. I heard shouts last night, as if they were attacked. Now there are only a few boats throwing bodies day and night into the giant hole. The smell is terrible. Should have left this house a week ago, but Becky, she refuses to leave. She'd rather die, she said with a nasty smile. Why is she torturing me so? October 22nd, Becky just attacked me. She jumped on me from the stairs and tried to bite me. I had to smack her, but she smacked me back. I went upstairs and locked myself in the bedroom. Now I can hear her crying and mumbling downstairs. I retrieved the gun I hid in the ceiling since the war to protect the house. Now, I'm ready to use it to protect myself from my own wife. October 23rd, I could not sleep at all. Becky spent the whole night scratching at the door, asking for my help, begging me to let her in, but I was too afraid to open it. I'm just waiting for her to die now. It would not be long. I pray God it will end soon. October 24th, I was so hungry I tried to go downstairs this morning. Becky was sitting in the armchair by the chimney. She was panting like a dog, looking at me without moving, just following me around the room with her eyes. I pointed the gun at her sore face, but she did not react. I could not pull the trigger. I went back to my room. October 25th, the house is silent like a tomb. No more noises. Becky is dead now. Forgive me, my love. I was unable to save you. I'll be with you soon enough.
This makes no sense. None of it. No sense at all. It's a nightmare. That's it.
Nothing like sleeping in a house with two dead people, right?
So be it. Rational thinking only.
Well, the main character just died. Game over, right? Just kidding. Vampyr, the Second Life. That's what we're playing now. Oh, my back. Actually, technically our third, because we already died and came back. You made the sheets all dirty.
This is absolute madness. I've lost touch with the real.
As it is, as mad as the moon, contains blood in sunlight into a glowing flesh.
Evolution. Hideout beds allow you to evolve. Autophagy. Yeah. We can choose. Explosive shadows. Thanks for dropping by. What do you mean when vampires were a thing? When did they stop?
Voice in my head. If I'm not mad, then it must belong to the one who made me what I am. I must find him to understand what I have become.
I am what I am.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
No, they were lusting over Edward Cullen.
Here's the leech. Here!
My head's spinning.
It's a leech.
Oi! Come out, you coward!
It's locked.
How do I access me? On hand is a machete. Designed to pierce arts. Oh, right. That's a thing you do in this game. Right.
I'm still in Southwark. I must reach the West End.
Over there!
Strength I never knew I had.
You have blood.
It's dead, all right. Nigga spotted! Watch out!
This shouldn't be possible. Every sinew, every fiber of my being is afire.
Murder.
Child learning the limits of my body. My strength. My reflexes. I'm not human anymore.
My butt. Everything is enhanced to superior levels. The Lusty Vampire sounds like a horrible woman's club. Quarantine contagious disease. One shall enter or leave quarantine zone. One shall enter or leave area without warden of the local health authority and authorized employee of the shall alter, destroy, or remove this card. Like, who would go to the lusty vampire? Let's be honest. I wouldn't. Do it. Make the lusty vampire the thing. Do it, I dare ya. Okay, and continue, Joe. Okay.
My poor sister. If only I had controlled my need for blood. Mary, someone will pay for what happened to you. For what happened to us.
So we can feed on rats if we really want.
I cannot enter. The dizziness from the jump. I can now control it.
The dizziness from the jump.
What will London have to say to me?
Leech, I think, is the common phrase.
I've so many questions unanswered.
It's me on a Tuesday.
Another corpse.
He's not being. He's not running. He's teleporting.
The man has been drained of all blood, but I can still smell the scent of it. I follow the scent's trail. Perhaps it will lead me to my assailant.
Yes, to the assailant.
Fresh blood. The smell is so strong. This is a slaughterhouse. It's locked, all right. It's locked, all right.
Are you sure about that? It's locked, alright. Are you sure about that? It's locked, alright. Are you sure about that? It's locked, alright. Alright. Are you sure about that? It's locked, alright.
There is no one in sight. Something dire must have come about. Where has everyone gone? According to the blood patterns, that's where the victim was attacked. So that must be the killer's trail.
Yay, we found a hideout. We can upgrade weapons there. We can sleep and spend experience points. So lots of things to do in your hideout.
At last, a little life. I cannot enter.
The turquoise dirt. Oh. Eventually the game will say something.
Are they stupid or something? I've never even been to India.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
There we go.
I wondered if I could ask for your help.
Wow, you look like you need a drink.
Yes. I apologize for my outfit. It's been a long night.
Been there, seen that. Don't worry, things can only get worse.
Has anybody entered the bar recently?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bottle, see?
This is important, sir. Are you sure no one has come in here in the last few hours?
I don't know and I don't care. This is a free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
This is a free country.
What's going on around here? It's like everybody is hiding.
You must be new here. Have you not heard about the murders? Everybody fears the return of the sewer dog.
Who is this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman. Convenient answer for every crime that happened for decades. You murdered someone, blame the sewer dog, eh?
You make it sound like it's a fairy tale.
People will always believe in monsters. It's easier than accepting their own darkness. We can all be monsters.
We can all be monsters.
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
Are they stupid or something? I've never even been to India.
Can we?
Oh, God,
there
sir.
we go.
You look like Jonah's whale just spat you out of hell. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you. I'm not thirsty.
Well, grab a chair and get some rest. This is going to be another long night.
Why is it going to be a long night?
You must be new around here. Don't you know about the murders?
Tell me more about these murders.
Every morning for the last few weeks, bodies have been found. And those poor sods didn't die of flu.
Do the police have any leads on a suspect?
Even before the outbreak, coppers never came round here. We're on our own. People die in these parts all the time, and no one cares.
Where am I? Where is this place?
Where am
We're
I?
at my bar, sir, the Turquoise Turtle. The last ray of light in this dangerous part of town.
Last ray of light.
Aren't you scared?
Scared of what? All the bad shit happens out on the foggy streets. And I never go outside.
That is me.
So you're open all night?
Yep. Figured people might need a place to rest in these dark times.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently. Wondered if you might help.
It's been quiet tonight. The only other person I've seen went straight up to his room. Thought it was kind of rude, actually.
You mean he's still here?
Well, yeah. He paid for the entire week.
I paid for the entire week.
Who is this man? What does he look like?
Well, like a gentleman, I guess. Well dressed, quite polite. A professor or something fancy like that. Always writing, reading notes.
How long has he been here?
He rented the room a few days ago and didn't say when he'd leave.
I need to meet this man. I have questions.
Just climb the stairs and knock on the first door. I heard him open his window, so I guess he's still awake. And,
Yes?
no funny business. You hear me? This is a respectable establishment.
This is a respectable establishment.
Hello, sir. Are you alright? Is there any way I can help you?
I don't know. Maybe you could just talk to me.
Maybe you prefer to speak with Tom then. He's more agreeable talking to strangers.
What is this place?
This is Tom's bar.
I love how, like,
Turquoise
everyone's talking normally
barmaid
and
of
everything's
Sabrina,
fine,
if
and
you
then
want
suddenly
that.
Jonathan's like, "What is this place?"
Are you always open this late at night?
No, it's only since the epidemic started. Tom thought that people may need a safe place to stay.
You don't seem to have much business. Where is everybody?
Well, most people are sleeping right now. And those that are awake tend to avoid going out. What with the murders and all.
What's going on around here? Where is everyone?
Too many dead, sir. First the epidemic. Now all these terrible murders.
All these terrible murders.
The murders. What can you say about them?
Bodies found in the streets every morning. Drained of blood. It's just horrible. Some say the sewer dog is back.
The
sewer dog?
What's that?
No one knows. People have always disappeared around these parts. The ancients say it's the sewer dog coming out to feed. But now he's killing in the streets.
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu. Yeah. Killed so many last summer. Thought we'd seen the last of it. Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
I just want to talk. I didn't mean to scare you.
I'm not afraid, sir. It's just I've other customers to take care of.
I only see one customer.
Oh. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I best check on them.
I
I'll
best
leave then. Thank
check on them.
It's a good thing you cannot see me now.
Are they stupid or something? I've never even been to India.
There's gotta be something.
This is no place for you. Prewen has several patrols roaming the area.
They do not pursue me.
They're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require them.
I think someone is eavesdropping.
Are you certain? You might as well come in, whoever you are.
Slowly, vampire. Who are you?
I mean you no harm.
Saith the vampire. Present yourself.
I need a word. With anyone.
Well, that's something I can do for you.
May the power of Christ compel thee.
And who might you be?
Tell me, who are you?
First, tell me what you want. Then I may tell you.
That's none of your concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
I've been hunted down in the streets and attacked. I'm a victim here too.
I believe you.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I'm performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
And what exactly is this Brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
What have you uncovered concerning the murders?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docks have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
How different?
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless. It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
I heard another voice, that of a woman. Who were you talking to?
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Ridiculous.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor? That explains a great deal. We're both chasing the same shadow.
A shadow, indeed. Yet I heard his voice in my head. There was a moment I believed I was mad.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
I will at last have the answers to my questions.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
And pray we shall meet again. So, as you can see, if I kill Sabrina, I get 1,500 experience. I get 350 for killing Dyson, 2,500 for Dom, 6,000 for Dr. Edgar. But I have no intention of murder.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight. Someone must know something.
Evening, sir. Can I help you?
I have a few questions for you.
Well, if you must.
I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man
It will
I'm
be.
looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth? What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight. And I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please tell me what's going on.
It's Will. William Bishop. He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin. His hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
God, I hope he's not contagious.
What happened tonight?
He was dead drunk as usual. My God, his eyes, his face. He must have caught something awful. He shouted and cried. It was terrible.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the canning factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well... Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
Thank you. Discovered it ain't, eh? So... if we can get all these hints before we talk to Dom, obviously his blood quality increases, so you get even more experience from him. But, like, there's... Oh, like, you're, you manage a lot. This is like a, I don't know how to describe it. There's a lot going on in this game.
Hello, sir. May I disturb you again?
And you're still ugly as sin.
And you're still ugly as sin.
Has...
Can't say.
This isn't...
I don't know.
What's go...
You must be new.
You make... I'll leave you...
I would love a couple more clues first. So obviously this is an open world, well, no, not semi. It's fairly open world. Like, you still have your goals to hit and everything, but you know, you can kind of run around and do things at your own pace.
It's locked, all right.
It's locked, all right. Do I want anything? Or blood capacity? Nah, we're good for now. My question is, where's the key to this?
It's locked.
Teleporting would be such great fun. I would teleport everywhere.
The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood. What's this? Some sort of note.
October 30th, from G. McCollum to Docks Patrol. Checked multiple deaths in the docks region. We believe a nasty leech is involved. Locate the beast, purge it, and quickly. Warning, according to recent reports, this vampire is very violent. Approach with extreme caution. No, we lack men in this part of town, but don't send rookies to investigate the case. If I'm correct, we got a frenzied one killing each night. As always, search abandoned places first, like old houses, basements, sewers, or warehouses. Destroy the Leech Brothers.
These men, they're a company of professional vampire hunters. This man was armed. He tried to defend himself. This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim. Blood and empty gin bottles. This Bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker. There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
Nah. You got some things to do first.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city.
Look, I told you everything.
This mess would have given me a laugh.
Welcome back. Did you find what you were after?
I can't say I have. Are you sure no one else came into your bar before I arrived?
Hey, I told you, you were the only other stranger I've had.
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
Who is he?
William? Just an old sailor who loves his gin too much. He worked for years at the canning factory before it closed.
Is he dangerous?
Yeah. Like many drunks, he's all bark and no bite. He can barely stand up most of the time.
All bark and no bite.
How was he tonight? Was he different?
Sicker than usual, perhaps. He whined and mumbled about how mean people were to him and how he'd like to talk to me outside, and then he left when I refused.
Why lie to me if he is not your friend?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced customer, and that's the truth.
That's the truth.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What do you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Thank you, Tom.
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
Okay.
I think drink no longer stirs me.
Could you imagine just sleeping in a little dinghy? I should probably learn the controls to sneak. That doesn't help me whatsoever. But I can figure it out. Or I can just go here. Toggle walk is B. What? What? What's that bullshit? Is anything control? Huh? No. Mesmerize is QA. Walk. Hold. Ah, shit. Switch to ranged weapon. God damn it. Alright, guess Q is my walk now. Nom. Exactly. Nom. And by nom, I mean nom nom. Not Vietnam. Yes, obviously. Yeah, physical melee blood shutout. I love how I just murdered these two, and they're still like those guys over there who heard literally nothing. So, like, thanks guys for being...
Are you deaf?
Gunner.
There's one of them. Cleaned out. Watch yourselves. Murdering bastard.
I love how he says we have fancy clothes.
Let's see how it likes a bit of fire.
We're in a bloody white shirt. Please explain to me the fanciness there. He practices new tactics. Yeah, I don't care.
Over there!
Rats are also often near hideout, aye. At least there's always like a lot of free stuff around like these hideouts, so it's always worth going into at least one of them. If not all of them. I mean, my goal is to find everything, so. Will it happen? Doubtful, but I will try. I don't want to upgrade anything right now. Not yet.
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
As one, we shall overcome this. We've done it before. No. I had a drink outside.
My lost and dearest friend.
This place reeks of bloodshed.
Will, please, let go of me.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Maintain a nice supply of blood. Oh. What's a lot of dead bodies around here?
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by Skal?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
I believe, sir, I already have.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
What kind of boat do you steer like that? Like, even watching him, the controls don't make sense.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy.
Her privacy.
Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it. I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
This game enjoys its fun.
From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
And for that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
He's just like, shake your hand, I just don't want to stop. I'm your biggest fan, boy.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Mr. Hampton needs me right now. We'll have a word in my office later, Jonathan.
You can do better than that. Nah. It's my turn.
Rotten autocracy. Each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river. Try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastards. I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright, sorry. I am in pain here. Me guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes.
Me guts.
That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
They want us to eat him. I say nah.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
Did I black out?
We could have ate him. But we didn't eat him. Because we're not bad people.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go. But no famished hunter can run from
Of course. Cox isn't that unusual of a last name for ye old England. You know, I think this is the late 18, early 1900s. I don't remember the exact time period. Got a clear for Sabrina Cavendish. Oh. So the gooder of a boy we are here. the better it makes the game, actually. So, I'll explain. By not killing, like, the people and everything, your health status goes up. The higher the health status, the less vampires, the less hunters and things. But if, you know, you start killing off people, you let, you know, the health status go down in hostile, like, there's more enemies, it's more dangerous, all that. 1918, thank you, Panda.
I cannot enter.
Level 10 enemies, we're level 3.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Imagine being a patient in this hospital and you just look at it and you see your surgeon just like hacking up some dude and then biting him. Perfect. See, look, we all get to learn something new. 1918. Who would have thought we'd be repeating 1918 in 2020? I'm waiting for the vampires to show up in IRL, you know.
It's locked, all right.
That only makes sense at this point. You go, ha ha, yeah, man. But am I wrong? Ha ha, no man. Ha ha.
I cannot enter. It's locked, all right.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. but I used to be a real doctor.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay.
Poof.
No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
Not fear in death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Ah, Milton Hooks,
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
She's relieved of her own life.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
So you buy and you sell.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
No, I do not
As
believe
I
the
said,
store
sir,
Goodwill could last.
Everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
Sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
I am a foolish man.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really.
Curios? I love Cheerios. Cha na 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 na.
It's locked, all right.
It's locked, all right, sir. Love how you can technically go wherever you want, except for, you know. Level 18 enemies. We're level 3. That thing could kill me in one hit, if it wanted to. And it has before.
Come on, I don't have all night. Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the 2nd floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
Thank you.
I would like to ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
2nd floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, nurse.
Thank you, nurse.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
The positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
If she were a man.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
So part of this is learning about people and talking to them and things like. Depending on your playthrough, the entire purpose of finding out about people is to then mesmerize them and kill them, eat them, devour their bodies, gain their experience.
If only I were young again.
Good evening, nurse.
But we don't
I'm
do
Dr.
that.
Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
The future!
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse
Sounds like
Brannigan,
she's
if
got
you
a
do know
crush.
something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
His best. Their best.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Well, let's see if we got anything new for him.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Is the only one I may listen to.
Goodbye, Doctor.
We're just advancing their dialogue plot story.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction.
Shithole.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
You know, is it just me, or does it feel like the subtitles are like a poor auto catch of, you know, like closed captioning? Because the words aren't matching up with what they're saying, unless, of course, they used an old script, and then, you know, the actual voice actors use different words, and then they just never updated it.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is alright? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
It's fucking awful.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
Their health.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing in. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. Investigation.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. That's a shotgun.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say?
Delusional?
You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
And it is you who think that I
I'm
am
assuming you must be a
delusional.
patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover to hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Mortal!
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Of course.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Mistress of the Dark.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
It's a euphemism. A euphemism.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and
Pippa
patients.
Peg.
We are running out of everything.
Peppa
You
Pig?
must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be
I'm
over.
playing with the kitty's toe beans.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu
tickle.
won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
I'm just
How is the Pembroke
tired.
staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Really, he seemed to talk a lot to me.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
See you again.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
It just hurts under the
Can I do
scars.
anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Sir, no offense.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
You let her bite you?
Bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
It seems much more fun than the real one.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Damn. Pain. See you again.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
And return to my flock.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
He refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Horcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton.
Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No
I love
drugs,
the heavy
no advice,
Scott.
Nothing. It's a damn shame.
It's a damn
Who
shame.
should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union.
The Dockers
Wet
Trade
Blue
Union.
boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Not even criminals.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
She left the docks
Goodbye,
many
Mr.
months ago.
We'll talk again later. I cannot enter.
So, fully exploring everything that you can in between chapters or acts or whatever they're called here is good because they'll replenish. Smiling Milton and Pippa forever.
So, Mr.
Hello.
Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well.
Well, well, well. What do we have here? Got ourselves a nice hot ticket. There you are, Milton.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet. With all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody's as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
Not everybody's as broad-minded as you.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Always look on the bright side of life.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Bottle.
Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
Goodbye, Milton.
I mean, I have no problem with what they're doing.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Learn something about play. See if we can't talk to him.
Whoa, I feel giddy.
We'll talk to him later. The game literally set it up for him to be the first one you kill accidentally. Or on purpose. See if we got anything new to say to Pippa.
Good evening, Nurse.
Good evening,
Pippa, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Do not cough in public.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swans's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Not overrated dabblers.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me. since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a burden.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate,
The
Doctor.
modern sorcerer.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
I'm pretty sure they agreed on two things.
I don't know what and what exactly. Be careful.
I only.
This is ridiculous.
You see?
Okay, so you can't even change what you say to him.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later. Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
That's all that
Are
matters.
you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here, then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
To hell and back.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Rar?
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Don't waste your time with me.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Oh, not the one I wanted.
Thank you.
I want Pippa and several others.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time. What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Nice moan there.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Dun dun dun.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
You lied to me.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Not yet, sir.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
What an awesome.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
My children need to eat, Doctor.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good thing to hold on to.
I always knew the words to calm the children, Helen. I'm so tired. As for me, through this shift, never an idiot.
Good evening, sir.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Other people may say that's too conservative a point of view.
Conservative? And what are you going to say to Mr. Fiddick if he loses his arm because of the operation? Because that's what's going to happen if the surgery is a failure.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Oh. Yes.
You don't mind if I search your pockets, do you, sir? You won't need any of these anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you. You see, no one has claimed your body, sir, so it would be such a shame to bury you with your valuables. I will not forget you, sir, and I thank you for your generous donation.
I mean, it's unethical, but he has a point, you know? Like, why allow...
It's locked.
It's like, no one's claimed the body, so... Again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Pepper, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel that useful. I want more. I want to make things change.
You should be proud of what you've achieved. This hospital represents hope for many people in need of help.
Maybe you're right. But at the moment, I feel like we're just a cemetery waiting room.
What steps are you prepared to take to feel more useful?
I don't know yet. My sister believes that the real fight is in the streets nowadays. Maybe she's right. Maybe this is what I must do.
And what about Milton Hooks? Does he share your point of view?
For Milton, any change means more comfort and more peace. I disagree.
If you feel that saving lives is not useful enough, perhaps it means that you've lost faith.
On the contrary, my faith has never been stronger. Maybe we are all just too proud to face up to the fact that science cannot compete with God.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Let's see. I need to talk to several people. Still missing a hint. Milton. So, here's another thing. See how he's got fatigue right there? I actually have to deliver cures to people to make them feel better. That is something I will do. At some point. When I start making them.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
How dare you steal from the dead, Rakesh? Is that what your pawnbrokers is really about?
These people are dead, sir. What they possessed could be useful for the living. And I'm sure they would agree if they could speak.
You may be right, but you'll go to jail if you're caught.
If ever I have to go to jail, I'm sure I'll find a way to help people there, too.
Rakesh.
Goodbye.
It's just like, well, if I go to jail, I go to jail. It's okay. The only way to get in there probably is to kill Rakesh.
It's locked, all right.
So I have to find out who's spying on Thelma. Days ago, one of our new recruits heard a rumor about the presence of a female vampire hiding in the Pembroke Hospital. All we have is her first name, Thelma. Your mission is to discreetly go there and observe any suspicious activities. Leo. If I remember correctly, we cannot do this because it's too high of a level, but fuck it, let's try it. We play the hit and run game. Where we hit and run. See, we hit, now we run. Oh darn, I'm too far away for him. Tee. Mad at time. See, hit and run. It took me forever to figure out how to do this. My first time, because I just kept dying over and over and over here. I was just like, oh my god. This is like the first section missions and I can't even do it. But now I know how to do the guerrilla tactics. Nice hideout. Oh, fuck! He came out of the corner. Jesus Christ. Did not see that. That was a jump scare for you. Yeah, the secret for, at least for me, is because I don't spend a lot of time really just upgrading myself, because I'll be completely honest, I don't find them to be the best. Is that you kind of just want to hit and run tactics, yo.
Yeah!
Teehee. Damn it. Huh, level 17s. Oh god, that's where I need to go too. Steal the reports? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh boy. You both just keep disappearing and reappearing. Are you guys making fucking like corn on the cob? Because Panda made corn on the cob last night? Oh my god. If you're not strong enough, remember that the blood of citizens is the fastest way to evolve. Nah, we just gotta get good. GIT good. I have to get gooder. Rip. I can do it. It's just hard. See, the thing I hate is the way it's changing my auto target. Actually, is horrible. This is much better. Vampyr the Masquerade Bloodlines 2? It was supposed to come out in March. I've heard nothing about it, to be honest, so... So whoever happens to have any update on it, well...
I can't believe I'm doing this.
So we have to make sure he does not get on top of us. If he does, he'll heal. You know he's gonna get on top of you when he does his jumpy attack. Okay, good. Don't touch me with your disgusting hands. A petition letter? Whatever. Don't touch me with your disgusting hands.
This is Braille. I need someone who can read this.
Cure for blindness?
What happened? Who are you? It's all right, sir. You're safe now. Oh, a fellow Englishman. Thank you, sir. For a moment, I thought those bloody heathens had killed me.
What are you doing here? This place is not safe.
Yeah, it's a cesspool, but it's mine. I came to collect some overdue rent, but those who still live here have gone completely bonkers.
You're very lucky to be alive.
Yeah, filthy immigrants. Fucking savages, every one of them. And now with this bloody fever, they're just animals.
You can find safety of sorts in Whitechapel. If you're quick and cautious, you'll be able to avoid the savages.
Okay, bye. I love how we did this now when it's like something we won't actually like get to or see him again for. Like, obviously, I just killed level 14 enemies. We're level 3. Like, we just did a mission way early. Why? Because we can. Simply put. Which means it's hit gold, but which means it hasn't hit gold, I think. I'm sure. Oh boy. I'm sure a lot of things have pushed everything back, you know.
No civilians allowed, sir. Stupid beast!
I got caught on fire, and I died. You've been defeated. So, by actually going in there, we respawned everybody we had just killed. Unfortunate. Hey guys, go. Fight each other. Bye. It kind of worked. Haha, they're fighting each other. Wear a mask and save your life.
This is no place for you, sir. Don't come any fucking closer.
Hey, thanks, buddy. Their torch follow-up is the worst. Simply because it burns. I love just how dedicated they are to their post. Ooh, perfect. I got what I wanted. Resetting his armor. Easy peasy. I ate your Yeezy.
Over there! There's one of them vermin!
Alright. I count 3 guys. What we need is in there upstairs.
Step away, sir.
Oh my god, we caught fire so quickly. Everyone is flammable? No, just us. We're the flammable ones. Or are you thinking we are flaming? Which is also very true. We're so hot, we're on fire. One of our issues is, one, our powers don't do enough damage. Second is, we don't have a ton of blood. Oh god. And now we're back here again, so... Alright. We'll leave for now. We will come back, though. We will come back. Twinkle, twinkle, motherfuckers. But, yeah, anyway. Let's see. Well, that's it for us tonight, though, because it's 10. I hope you all enjoyed, and we'll pick this up again next week. So, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and until the next time, everybody, stay funky, people.